All right. I've got straight up top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Tonya, and this is a comeback yoga session for strength and flexibility. It'll be about 45 to 50 minutes long. We'll be doing some floor work, a little bit of standing work, and then some back to some floor work, a lot more floor work, and then final meditation, about 5 to 10 minutes there. You will need a towel, like a bath towel, large bath towel or a beach towel, and a pillow. I just have a pillow that I use on my sofa, but you could use a bed pillow as well. If you have something like that, you'll need that today. Of course, if there's any other props you like to bring into your practice, then go ahead and grab them. So while you're grabbing your props for today's session, just want to tell you a little bit about Comeback Yoga. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization that serves veterans, active duty, military, and support team. In fact, a lot of my in-person classes are spouses and support. So it's beneficial for the whole team, the whole network of practitioners, of service duty members. So thanks for being here today. You can donate to Comeback Yoga at the end of the session, or pause the video if you're watching recorded, and there's a link below that you can donate to Comeback Yoga. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm just going to find a seat for now. You could be sitting on a cushion or pillow or even a chair. And we just take this time just sort of gather just our attention to, just to the practice, just sort of getting ourselves mentally, physically prepared. If you're brand new to yoga, just doing this class, well, this is for anyone really. If you feel overwhelmed at any time, it's getting to be too difficult, just stop, take a break. You don't even have to do the whole practice. You can pick this up later as it is uploaded and recorded. Just do what you can. And working towards always tracking sensation in the body, tracking the breath, tracking the mental dialogue that's going on, so that if there's any distractions, either physical distractions, mental, emotional distractions, that you can draw your attention back to your breath and back into your body. All right. Let's take another couple of breaths here. Feeling yourself sitting taller, so feeling some length come in through the spine, and starting to invite the breath in. It's just an inhalation, something we do all day throughout our whole life. We've been breathing in and we've been breathing out. But how often do we think about our breath or really sense the breath? How often, when we're lying down, when we're eating a meal, when we're having a conversation with someone, do we really feel and sense the breath? So you might hear your breath as an audible sound. You might sense the movement of your breath, maybe the torso, maybe your shoulders, maybe your ribs, maybe your belly. What else might you notice just in the breath? So we're going to check in again in a moment lying down. But I just want you to take a moment with this tall, upright posture where we need a little bit of strength to hold ourselves up, and yet there's a softness. There's a yielding in a way, a yielding to receive the breath, and yielding to offer the breath So we can think of the breath as a moving in and an out. We're taking it in almost as if we're taking it in with two hands to receive, or taking it in with an open heart, and then exhaling to soften the heart, or to let the breath flow off of the hands as we're offering it back out. So it's this interplay, this exchange, inhaling and exhaling. So take a couple more breaths here, just sensing, listening inward. So I'll leave you for maybe 3 more breaths just to sense the quiet, the smoothness. All right. And if your eyes were closed, go ahead and lift your gaze. And we're going to come down onto our back. If you're, just have your props close by, your towel and your pillow. So rolling down onto your back. And we're going to start with a bend in the knees with the feet flat on the floor. So feel the surface beneath you. Either with the hands, you might notice parts of your body connecting to the surface. And you may or may not experience, some fidgetiness or discomfort. You're welcome to use your towel or your pillow under your head here as well, just to support a little bit more comfort in your body. So now invite that sensing of the breath, maybe the audible sound of the breath, maybe the movement of your body here, maybe even sensing whether or not your body moves away from the floor as you breathe in and out. There's no right or wrong, and there's no need to control anything. And we're just looking with curiosity, no judgment, no criticism, just curiosity. What is going on? What's moving? Does my belly button rise with my inhale? Does it come back down with my exhale? Are my side ribs expanding? Do I feel space in my breath, in my torso? Do I feel my body moving into the space in front of me, to the sides of me, and below me? Sensing. Just sensing. I'll take 2 more breaths here. With your next inhale now, we'll bring the arms up alongside the ears. And exhale, lower your arms down to the ground. 2 more times. Inhale, bringing the arms next to the ears. And exhaling, lower your arms down. Just tracking the movement here. Last one. Tracking the breath. Good. And pause for just a moment. Now pressing down into the arms and the hands, begin to lift your hips up They might only come up a little or they might come up a lot. Hold here for just a moment as you press down gently into your heels without putting any strain on the back of the neck. Push down into the heels only. Feel a little bit of energy come along the back of your body, and then release the front of the foot and lower the hips down. 2 more times. Pressing down into the heels, lift the hips. Exhale and lower down. 1 more time. Pressing into the heels as you lift the hips. Now you might experience a Charlie horse. Sometimes I get a Charlie horse too. All right. Now keeping your right foot down on the ground, hug your left knee into your chest as you lift your hips. So kind of one fluid motion there. And then release the hips as you slowly lower your foot down to the floor. Switch sides. Press into one foot. Bring that opposite knee in. And then release down, lowering the foot and the knee. We'll do 1 more or 2 more, on each side. The knee comes up as the hip lifts. Tracking sensation along the way. Moving to a little bit of a challenge, but if it causes pain, then breathe into it, take a moment, and then see if it changes. See if the sensation changes. 1 more time on each side. Tracking breath. Good. And now pause. Just resting the arms and the feet on the floor. All right. Now we're going to bring one leg up so that the shin is parallel to the floor. Bring the opposite arm alongside the ear. On your exhalation, you're going to lower your arm down next to your hip, lift the hip, and bring the knee towards the chest. I know it's a lot of coordination there. Do what you can. Lower your foot down and the hip down as your arm comes back alongside the ear. All right, exhale and lift up again. And inhale, lower down. 1 more time, this side, same side. Good. All right, now bring your shin parallel to the floor and lower your arm to your hip and bring the other shin parallel to the floor. You might notice the back maybe start to lift way up off of the floor. If it does, hold on to your knees. Maybe hug the knees in just a little bit. We want to try to work a little bit of core strength here. So the knees come in just far enough that the low back presses back down into the floor. Now try to keep that stability there as maybe you can send the legs a little bit further away from the hips. Your hands might even rest on the knees or maybe they're behind the knees, anything that supports this. Now you're going to breathe out through the teeth, making a like an S-seam sound. 2 more times. Feel how that activates those deep core muscles. 1 more time. This time we're going to say peace and accentuate this. Okay, so exhale. Peace. Good. Actually, 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Peace. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Peace. Good. All right. Bring both these into the chest. Good work. A little bit of movement in the hips here. Okay. Take your left foot to the floor and your right shin parallel. So opposite leg now. Arms resting next to the hips. Bring your left arm next to the ear or at a slight diagonal even, might feel better for the shoulder. On your exhale, lift the knee, the hip, and bring the arm down next to the hip. Inhale, lower down, tap the foot to the floor. Exhale, lift up, knee to chest, towards chest, hip lifts, arm to the hip. Continue. 2 more times. Exhaling. And inhale, track sensation. Last one. Good. And lower down. Nice work. Take your left ankle on the right knee and figure 4 here. Just hold or keep your foot to the floor, or if it's available, you can start to draw your knee in and then move it away. Just kind of using the strength of the arms to mobilize the hip joint here. And just tracking again, sensation for 3 more times. Good. And then send your right leg to the ceiling. If your hands are interlaced behind the leg, you can keep it there. Or if it's too much to send the leg up, maybe grab your towel and you can wrap your towel on the bottom of your foot, maybe like so. All right, and then release that towel. Just circle your right ankle, a couple of rotations one way and then going the other way. And then place that foot down. Pause, placing both feet down to the ground. Just take a moment to sense. You might notice some sensation in the outer left hip, more so than the right, since we did a little bit of work there. Notice if it feels warm. Does it feel like honey? What does it feel like? All right. Taking your right ankle on the left knee. Your left foot can be to the floor, or hug those knees in for figure 4. And a little bit of movement using the strength of the arms, using the breath, sensing, tracking on the way. All right, and then straightening your leg towards the ceiling. Using the towel if you are. And release that, or circle your ankle. And then circle the other way. And release both knees into the chest. And then place your feet down. Roll onto one side, resting your head maybe on your pillow or your bottom arm. And now take your top ankle into your top hand. Flex the knee so that we come into a quad stretch. The knee can come kind of in line with the hip, or depending on your flexibility today, maybe the knee is out forward. So we can even push gently into the hand with that foot to get a little bit stronger sensation, as long as it doesn't cause any issues to the tissues. So working with the breath to find some sensation, maybe a little bit of comfort or discomfort. And release. We'll come onto our back for this other side. Rolling to the other side. Maybe the head on the pillow. Knees out in front. Stack the hips and the shoulders. Just take a moment before we take the quad stretch on the other side. Then go ahead and grab the ankle or the foot or use the towel. And just a little bit of engagement of the glute by pushing your foot into your towel or your hand. Tracking breath. And then bring your leg back in front of you. Press yourself up now to tabletop position. The hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Cat-cow here. So if you're familiar, you can go ahead and begin your cat-cows whenever you're ready. So taking about 3 to 4 rounds. A little bit of mobility through the spine, tracking sensation, tracking breath. We're working with some strength today and flexibility. Now with your next exhalation, come into a neutral spine position. So kind of feeling that stability coming through the midsection, exhaling, find those core abdominal muscles. Now moving the hips back with the heels lifted for a variation. I'm going to work a little bit into the feet here today. So you can, if that's too intense, then take some of the weight out by walking the arms forward. And then we'll come up to stand on our knees. You're going to take your towel here and open it up long ways. And then just kind of roll it up so you have kind of a roll, a long roll, and then fold it in half. We're going to take the towel now and bring it behind the knees. So it's going to rest on the calves. Okay. And keeping the heels lifted, bring your hips back onto the towel. Now you could be kneeling on your pillow if you have tender knees, like I do. So just kind of sitting back onto the towel just to create a little sensation in the calves and maybe the Achilles, maybe even the bottoms of the feet. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Now this can be pretty intense. If it's too much, take the weight off. But having strong, supple feet is just as important as having strong, supple biceps. So that's what we're working with today. All right. And then go ahead and come forward. You're going to actually keep the towel there. But this time we're going to point the feet back. So flatten the feet. And again, it's nice to have maybe a little cushioning under the ankles. And again, here we go, sitting back onto the heels, onto the towel. Again, if the sensation's too strong, back out a little bit. Sometimes just we need to track sensation on the knees. If it's too much, back out a little bit. But we're working now towards some flexibility on the front of the foot. Again, feet so important for balance. So just everyday balance, right? Just, getting up and down from our chair. Or navigating through the snow and icy conditions. Yeah. Take 1 more breath. Stay with it. Stay with me. It's okay though if you don't. All right, and then let's come up. Remove the towel and straighten one leg back just to open up the back of the knee. And then release that knee down. Straighten your other leg back. And then come down. We're going to move into downward dog. So moving your pillow off to the side for now. So I'm going to invite you to take the knees a little bit wider for today's downward dog, just to explore the space here. So the toes are under. Lift the knees and then begin to lift the hips. Take those heels down towards the ground. You might even find your stance even to the edge of your mat if you're using a yoga mat. Just explore some of that expansion through the legs and notice if the work with the towel changed anything about your downward dog from yesterday's downward dog. Okay. And then bend your knees. We're going to just kind of lift up the heels and then lower the heels, but keep your knees bent. And then lift the heels and lower the heels. And again, lifting the heels deep, bend in the knees. We'll do one more time. Lifting and lowering. Good. Bringing your feet now to about hip distance. Step or bring your left foot between your hands. Coming into a lunge. Pushing down firmly into those feet. So, tracking sensation here, tracking the muscular energy of the legs. And then step back, downward facing dog. Let's take the other leg forward. Help it if you need. Clear some space if you need for lunge. Push down into the foot to feel stability in the legs. Take 2 more breaths here. This time we're going to step forward into a fold, the front of our mat. So pushing off of the feet, coming into a forward fold. Bend the knees as you need to create a little bit of support for your torso. Move your arms maybe side to side or forward and back. Releasing the arms down, come all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms up, reach up, and then exhale, lower your arms down to your sides. We're going to explore a little bit of movement in the feet here now. So first I want you to sense the bottoms of your feet, and I'll turn to face you. So we're going to see if we can't lift all of the toes. You might add the fingers because sometimes that's what happens. Lifting the toes as tall, as high up from the floor as you can towards the ceiling. And then see if you can create some separation in the toes. So spreading between the big, second, middle, the fourth, and the fifth toe. Just spreading those toes wide as you press down into your feet. And then try to keep your toes wide and release the toes down to the floor. Just a slight gripping of the mat. Just a slight, just so subtle. Now we're going to lift the heels with that as we press down into those toe mounds. I know. Okay, so go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. We're going to start to move the hips back into a chair position. That's it. Hands onto the thighs. Stabilize. That's it. And then lower the feet down. Bringing the arms forward into chair position. Exhale and sink a little bit deeper. Press down into the feet. Inhale, rise, rise, rise. Reach up to extended mountain. And then exhale, lower your arms down to the ground, or to the sides, towards the ground. Okay. Now, I'm just going to turn to the side. So you're going to take your right foot and just press the ankle towards the ground, pointing the toes back. And then switch, other side. Have a little bend in that right knee. Good. And then come back to center. Okay. So just kind of articulate now through the feet. So, Press down to the toe mounts, lift the heel, feel the toes, and then articulate down. Other foot lifts up, sort of like you're peeling your foot up off of the floor, but keep the toes down. Yeah, and just kind of do that, working through the ankles here. All right, so find stillness now. And if you wanted to stand tall, stand tall with me, and shoulders back and down, not forced though, just at ease. Shifting your weight just a little bit to the left. I'm going to face you again. Just a little bit to the left, and just sort of hover the right leg off of the floor. Get real strong in the legs. You're reaching to the sky, but you're pressing down into the foot. And then either bend the knee with the toes to the floor, or start to lift your knee a little higher. And then as you touch down, toe mound, and the heel come down. So putting it back down onto the mat, same way. And then let's peel the left heel off of the ground. You might keep the toes down, or you might lift the knee. Good. And then peel and touch back down. Good. Let's go back to the first side. So lifting the heel, pressing into the leg, left leg, and strong. Stand tall, and then exhale, lift the knee. If you want more of a challenge, we'll bring the arms up. And then touch down, slow, articulate the foot down. Slow is not always easy, especially if your balance challenge today. You can always have a chair. And then we'll peel the other foot off. Maybe the knee comes up. Maybe it doesn't come up as high. Bring it up. Stand tall. Maybe the arms, maybe one arm. Maybe the hands stay at the hip. Good. And then touch down. Nice work. Okay, walk it out. Just kind of articulating again through the feet. And then come to the center of your mat facing the screen, or so that you're facing the long edge of your mat and I'm visible. We're going to take the feet outside of the hips, quite long, quite wide. Inhale, bring your arms out nice and wide. And then exhale, turn your right toes out. Another inhale, reach to the arms, and exhale, come into warrior two. Inhale, let's come back up. Again, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, warrior two. Good. Come back up, lower the arms, turn the left toes out for warrior two. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, bend the knee, warrior two. Inhale, push down, sensation. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten and lower your arms. Parallel the feet. Bring your hands onto your legs and slide the hands down the legs, coming halfway. Maybe the hands resting on the knees, maybe on the shins, or maybe they come all the way down to the ankles. Take 2 more breaths here, sensing, tracking. And then bring your hand coming into a wide child's pose. So the knees come wide, and you're going to take your towel and bring it behind the knees. So you could also use your pillow here. You have it behind the knees and come down into child's pose. Resting your head or the floor or a pillow or towel. Take 2 more breaths here. And with pillow or the towel, and press back to downward facing dog. How it's impacted the ankles, the feet, the hamstrings. All right, and come down, coming all the way onto your stomach. And roll to one side, grab your top ankle. You could use your towel here as well. Back into the one option here is to stay here on your side. If you'd like to challenge yourself, roll onto your stomach for the quad stretch here. You can hold onto the ankle still, the pant leg if you have a big pant leg that you could hold onto there. And even more of a challenge if you want is to come up onto the forearm as we bring the foot in a little closer, maybe. That really depends on your body. So wherever you ended up, whether you're on your side or on your stomach, push your foot slightly into your hand. So we're getting strength in the front, in the quad. So we have to use the opposing muscles. So one is a lengthener and one is a contractor. And release that. Everyone, meet on your stomach again in what's called alligator. You can rest your head on the back of the hands or on the floor. And legs. And just be a comfortable distance. Maybe the feet are flat or maybe the heels are lifted. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Okay, let's roll to the other side. You can even use a pillow under the head. The ankle on the top leg. And again, if you push just gently, it doesn't have to be like 100%. You're pushing it right. Okay. All right. Or CrossFit or anything for that matter. Lifting weights. Release the leg and come on to your stomach. We've just got 1 cobra pose today, or 2 if you want more, or 3. So bring the hands behind the shoulders. The toes are flat, the feet are flat. And just start to lift your chest and head, lengthening the front of the body, using the strength of the back. You might come low. You don't even have to come up very high to feel the strength in the back of the body. As you press your hips down, maybe even looking down slightly in front of you, and release down to the ground. And we'll press up to tabletop and then back into our child's. Pillow can be underneath us this time if you'd like to try that, or you can have the pillow behind again. I love both of them. It's hard to choose. So you decide what might feel the best. If you'd like to explore using the pillow, it's very, very quieting. You can have it on your lap too. Just a good release for the back. So receiving that breath into any tight areas, the hips, the glutes. And take 2 more breaths here. Pressing yourself up. And then taking your pillow now behind you, you're going to lie back onto the pillow and have your pillow here as well. This time you might fold it in half, depending on how big your towel is, and then roll the towel up so that we have a little Tootsie Roll, and then bring it for under the knees. Okay. And I come down so that the pillow supports our torso and the towel supports the knees. Hopefully your head is supported. So depending on how big your pillow is and your torso, make sure that the head is either in line with the heart or elevated, if that's comfortable for you. And then before you get too comfy here, I'm gonna place the feet down onto the floor or onto your towel just for a moment. So I'll start with bent knees here. And I'm gonna bring one knee into the chest. Circle the ankle. And if you can reach your foot, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of massage. Massaging the toes, the bottom of the foot, ankle, if you can reach the foot. If you can't, then maybe later after class you could grab a tennis ball or something. All right, and then place that foot back down. Take a breath. And then hug your other knee into your chest. Circle the ankle. And then massaging the foot. Making sure to get the toes, the top of the foot, the bottom, ankle, and then lowering that leg down. Both legs come down now over your towel, and taking your arms either straight out to the sides or sort of a goalpost position for the arms, whatever provides the most comfort for your body. And just as you settle in to the surface, if lying down, if you find out that it's not quite right for you today, then you could sit up or you could come onto your side. It's important to turn up that inner volume to know what our bodies crave for our health and our well-being, and what supports our body, our mind, our soul, and our heart. So sensing the breath. Sensing the movement of your body with the breath. Sensing how your body interacts to the surface. And sensing not only maybe the density of your body, the density of the surface, the heaviness, the solidity, but also sensing the spaciousness more with the breath, maybe the lightness or the fluidity, the air-like qualities that are not only present in your body, but that come in with the breath. Feeling the sort of expansive qualities or expanding qualities of the breath. And then returning back to maybe the density, the warmth of the body, the surface. Feel the lightness, maybe even the coolness of the breath, or is it warm? The expanding quality of the breath. And now sensing how these two opposites merge. Merging of body, merging of sensation, merging of warmth or cool, dark or light, thick or liquid. Maybe there's some other words that you can use to describe the sensations. And as there's a mergence, a joining, a union, this is the goal of yoga, where our bodies, our minds, our breath, our heart and soul are so aligned that the physical limitations or pains or sufferings, our joys, our peace, all of it merging together as one. So take 3 more breaths here, deepening, beginning to sense the surface beneath you, beginning to sense sounds in the room, maybe even smells. Bringing yourself back into the space around you, back to this plane, back to complete awareness of senses. And then begin to find some movement through your fingers, your wrists, your toes, your ankles, and bring one knee into your chest. That is if you're on your back. You could do this if you're on your side too, even if you're sitting. And bring the other knee into your chest. And if both knees are not into your chest, bring both knees into your chest. And then roll gently towards one side, adjusting the pillow if you need. And hug the knees in close to the chest and stay for 1 or 2 more breaths there. And then pressing yourself up for sitting. And bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And close with a moment of gratitude of this joining, of this union. The left, right, at the heart, where this is where we like to meet ourselves with great love and respect. So thank you so much for joining me today. Release the hands. My name is Tonya, and it's been my pleasure to support you in your practice today. I hope to see you again. Don't forget to subscribe to Comeback Yoga and hit the bell icon for any upcoming classes. Take very good care. Until next time, we'll see you soon.